Casey Milan, girls 15, and one of the senior players on that team is, introduce yourself.
I'm Allie Ryan.
Allie
I'm from
Ryan.
Granite City, Illinois.
Granite City, a Granite City Warrior. And what grade are you in?
I'm going to be a senior.
As of lunchtime today,
Yes.
you became a senior.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
You can put the picture down now. The reason I'm here to chat with Allie is because she had an international adventure that we want to talk about. It sounded like a heck of a trip. I know I'm jealous. Where'd you go?
I actually traveled to Gothenburg, Sweden last year, and I played in the Gothia Cup with a team out of Kansas City called Casey Milan.
Yeah, you show us the shirt a little bit better.
And this is my shirt. And last year was actually the 40th anniversary, so it was a big deal to play in the tournament last year and experience that.
Why is the Gothia Cup matter? What's its big pull?
It's actually labeled as the Youth World Cup of the country.
Not only of the country, but as I understand it, it's considered the largest youth soccer tournament in the world, right?
Last year there was over 57 countries that
57 countries that were represented there. Yep. Wow! So you were out there representing Missouri and the U.S. How many games did you play?
We actually played 6 games.
6 games. Yep. Over how long a period of time?
It was 6 days, I'm pretty sure.
Wow, yeah. So it was a jam-packed soccer adventure.
Very.
Gothenburg, where is that at?
Gothenburg is in Sweden, right on the coast.
Right on the coast, on the west coast, I guess, right? Yes. On the North Sea. So you look across far enough, and the tip of Norway would be there. And south of that is Denmark then, yes. Right? We'll have to get some maps out as part of this story. What's the biggest memory you have? We're going to dive into a bunch of them, but just off the top of your head, what was the best part about your trip?
The best memory I had was meeting a girls' team our age from Scotland. We just bonded like we had known each other our whole lives, and we had met after being there for one day, and we spent every single day together, every single minute, and then we actually ended up playing against them to get into the semifinals. And I still talk to every one of those girls every day, and hopefully I can travel there and hang out with them again.
So meeting Scottish lasses. Wow, I'd enjoy that. Yeah. What was the hotel like? Where did you stay?
I stayed right in the center of town, right down from Gothia Towers, up on this huge hill. And the hotel was actually very small. The elevator's capacity was 12 people, but in reality you could fit about 3 with one suitcase. Especially
with all the soccer bags and everything else.
Yeah, and the rooms were small. There was 2 beds and a super small bathroom and shower. It was like touching wall to wall, but I managed to live. There was no air conditioning.
No air conditioning, right?
No, it didn't get very hot, so I had a fan. And I always had to keep my curtain closed at night because it didn't get very dark.
That's right. The sun didn't really set until
about 10 or 11 at night.
10 or 11 at night. The sun not even setting, much less
going down.
Right, going down. Wow, that's that would be would change your sleeping patterns just a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I was very jet lagged the first day because it was a 13-hour flight.
What you mentioned you stayed in the city center. Do they have a big complex like Overland Park or something like that? Or where would you guys play?
It wasn't as big as Overland Park, but there was, in the center of town, it was actually called Heaton, which is the Heaton Center, and it had about 6 fields, and the main field was a stadium field where the championship game was played. There was 2 practice fields, and this huge Nike shopping center with all of the Gothia Cup merchandise, and there was actually these mold figures of Cristiano Ronaldo and Ibrahimovic that I got to take my pictures with, so that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Was Ibrahimovic wearing his jersey? He doesn't seem to very often.
He was not wearing his Sweden jersey, even though that's where he's from. He was actually wearing his other jersey.
Was he? Oh, that sucks. Paris Saint-Germain, I believe, at the time, last year. So if you were staying in the city, you mentioned you didn't play all your games at one location. Where were you playing your games at?
We were actually playing our games all over that general area. So we would actually get on public transportation, buses, or like a Metrolink back here, and it would take us about 25-30 minutes. And then after we got off, we actually had about 6 or 7 blocks of walking up and down hills and brick roads to our fields.
Through neighborhoods.
Yes, through neighborhoods and small towns. But once we got there, it was definitely worth the trip from walking that far because it was just so pretty, the landscaping. And then when you got to the fields and facilities were so nice. And I remember playing in one location that was gorgeous. It was this like small building and it was covered in vines. You walk down these brick stairs and it was just a stadium that you would see on like FIFA streets, or just, it was just unreal.
So you were taking Metrolink to all your games?
Pretty much.
That's pretty cool. That's urban living, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not quite the same as what we're used to around here.
Most definitely.
That is right. What about the food? Did you discover anything you liked in particular?
Yes. I loved the Swedish meatballs. I could live off Swedish meatballs, and I loved the crepes that I had for breakfast every day.
Did you? Mm-hmm. And you came back with, you had a favorite candy as well, right?
Yes.
Which one
My
was
favorite candies were the Kex bars. They're just like Kit Kats.
I asked you to pull out some of the mementos that you brought back, and that's part of it.
Yep.
Why don't you show us some of the other ones that you got? Show us the gold medal first.
All right. Here's my 40-year anniversary medal.
You guys played in a group stage, and
Yep.
you reached the semifinals.
Yep. So we finished third in our group out of 50-something teams in our group. So I think that's pretty good.
And you scored.
Yes, I did. I scored against Germany, and I scored from the half line, actually on a bouncing volley, and I could not believe it went in. I had the biggest eyes that I thought were going to pop out of my head.
What else do you have there?
I actually have a flag that our team provided for every single team, and it's a custom over there before the games to exchange gifts or mementos from your country. So it was also cool to see that.
Like we see in international games.
It really was. So these are our flags that we traded with all the other teams, and then I got to come home with one, which was nice.
That is real nice.
Yep.
What else do you have there?
And then these are my jerseys. Casey Milan Team USA, number 15. And of course,
Is number 15 important?
Yes, 15 and number 5 are my two numbers.
Are your numbers,
Yep.
okay.
And of course, you can't
It
forget
had the American flag,
on
right.
them because we went over there and I think we really did represent the United States very well.
Yeah, speaking of representing, show us the other. You had two jerseys,
And this is
home and away, I guess.
our red and white jersey.
Good old red, white, and blue. Speaking of the competition, you had some comments earlier when we were talking about this, about the reputation of the U.S. club teams coming over.
Well, from the beginning, they told us that the way other countries view us are very different. They look up to us as if, oh, wow, every single American team is going to be just like the U.S. women's national team.
And we are.
Yeah. So coming over there, we went into the tournament, and they told us, you're going to have better fitness, you're going to have better touches, better foot skills, better view of the field, the game, every aspect is going to be better. And it was very different. You could tell as soon as we went into that first game, those girls just, they couldn't believe it. It was just, they were so unexpected of what we brought to the table, and it was just so different playing their game, per se.
Right. And that was at the U15 level. Did you have a chance to watch other age groups play?
Yeah, we watched some older and younger boys and girls, and the girls my age group, because I guess played with a team that was younger than me. It was more like my style of playing. I guess it's different.
So once they reach that sophomore, junior, senior year age group.
Yeah, it's definitely more of what I'm used to.
Right.
I guess you could say.
Well, that was one of the other comments you mentioned before. One, in terms of, I asked you about your love of the game, or how things might have changed for you coming back from that international trip.
Well, I think from playing over there, I've actually learned to appreciate the game even more. Now that I went to another country and played and see what they have and their soccer, I've appreciated it more because I play for Scott Gallagher, and the training they've provided me and the opportunity that I got to go with this team out of Kansas City just showed me you need to learn to love the game because you don't know the circumstances with teams from other countries and the girls especially how they're treated soccer-wise and what they don't get to have and how they get to play is very different.
All right, pretty cool. Any other fun aspects of the trip that the girls can look forward to? Because part of the reason we're here is not just to talk to you about your great adventure, but we have a team from St. Louis that's getting ready to go over there this summer. What other fun things can they expect?
Actually, if you get on your favorite part of the public transportation, you can go down to the beach, which was very cool. It was a rock beach, but you got to swim in the ocean. We actually got to go on this ferry boat ride over to another island. That was very neat. There's a lot of walking, but you're going to learn to appreciate all the walking because it is the most beautiful place that I have ever been to.
And as a good Swedish boy myself, I can appreciate that. You had one comparison here in town that what was brought to mind. Some of the neighborhoods you hung out in reminded you the most of what area here?
Old St. Charles, actually. My favorite place to visit when I was over there that you need to go to is Haga. And it is so cute. There's so many little shops, and you have to go to this one coffee shop. You'll know, I don't remember the name of it, but you'll see it and you'll know what it is. They have cinnamon rolls that are the size of your head, and they're the best things that I've ever eaten in my whole life. And another thing you can do in Haga, it's a long walk up this huge hill, but once you get up there, it is worth it, like everything else there. It's this huge castle built in the 1600s, and it's actually a skyline view of the entire city, and you can see miles and miles and miles beyond.
The city and out on the North Sea and other things like that.
You can see everything from there.
Well, that what a trip that is. I'm really jealous. You want to send a shout out to some of your Scottish friends?
Hey guys,
who might get a chance to see this themselves.
I miss you, and hopefully I'll get to see you soon. One day.
Yeah, trip to Scottish. And who's your favorite Scottish team now?
Dundee FC.
Dundee FC, huh? Yep. Well, that's great. Well, congratulations, Allie. Have fun as a senior, and thanks for taking the time to tell your story.
All right, thank you.